أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير آمين يا رب العالمين. Welcome to the second lecture of Lisanulquran. Our objectives for this lecture will include an introduction to the parts of speech in Arabic language. Within the parts of speech, our focus will be on ism. We'll understand the basic definition of ism, and furthermore, we'll understand the different categories of ism. First of all, let us revise what we learned in lecture 1. We learned about the Arabic alphabets, or huruful hija. We learned that these are 28 or 29 in number, depending on alif and hamza. Pesh, Zair, Zabar symbols are basic harakat in Arabic. Double harakat are called tanween. The absence of a harakat, single or double, is indicated by the sign of sukoon. The difference between alif and hamza is that alif will have no harakat or no sukoon symbol on it. The combination of alphabets or huruf and harakat make words. We studied that words can either be meaningful or meaningless, and that all the words in the Quran are meaningful words. A meaningful word is also called kalima. And in Arabic, there are 3 types of meaningful words, or all the meaningful words in Arabic can be divided into either ism, fail, or harf. Kalima is a meaningful word in Arabic, and all kalima in Arabic will be divided into ism, fail, or harf. These are the 3 parts of speech in Arabic, and the focus of today's lecture is going to be ism. Let us discuss some basics about ism. The first and the most important rule to know is that ism is not the same as noun. Oftentimes, ism is confused with noun in the English language. Noun is not the same as ism. Ism is not the same as noun. Rather, noun is one category that is included within ism. So, the better way to understand this is that ism is a very broad category in Arabic parts of speech, and noun is just one inclusion within that category. The right terminology for ism is ism. It should be called ism in Arabic. It should be called ism in English. It should be called ism in Urdu. And by calling it ism, it avoids the misunderstanding or the confusion between ism and noun. The literal meaning of the word ism is name. In the previous section, we studied how ism was broad in its scope as compared to a noun, and how ism is not the same as noun. Now let us look at some of the categories of ism. The first category of ism includes names. Ism can be the name of a person. Every name of an individual is ism. For example, the name Zaid. Zaid is the name of a person. Therefore, Zaid is an example of ism. Similarly, Maryam is the name of a person. Thus, Maryam is an example of ism. Ism can also be the name of a thing. For example, kursi, which means chair, kitab, which means book, and qalam, which means pen. So far, we have ism as the name of a person and ism as the name of a thing. Ism can also be the name of a place. For example, Bayt, which is house, Masjid or mosque, Makkah, which is the name of a city. So far, these categories are similar to noun in English, which can be the name of a person, place, or thing. However, ism has additional categories, and that is why ism is not the same as noun. Ism can also be the name of an action. Please note that this includes names of actions only. For example, studying, teaching, sitting, standing, eating, drinking, or sleeping. An example from Arabic is the word infaq, which means spending. These are just names of actions only and should not be confused with the verb, which inshallah we will study in the later sections. To summarize the category of names for ism can be the name of a person, name of a thing, name of a place, or name of an action. The second category of ism is Zamay. Zamay means pronouns. In English, the pronoun is a word that can be used instead of a noun. In English, we also see that noun is a separate part of speech, pronouns are a separate part of speech. But in Arabic, the names of person, place, thing, actions, as well as pronouns or zamay are all included within the scope of ism. Again, this highlights the point that ism is much more broader in its scope as compared to noun in English. And keeping this diagram in mind, it would be incorrect to compare ism to noun and to say that these two are the same. Zamay or pronouns are a very important subject in the study of Arabic grammar, and these will be discussed in much more detail in the later sections. However, since zamay are included in the category of ism, it would be relevant to share some examples at this time. Examples of zamay include the following. Zamay or pronouns can either be personal pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, or conjunctive or relative pronouns. Examples of personal pronouns include the word ana, which means I, or nahnu, which means we. Examples of demonstrative pronouns include the word haza, which means this. Examples of conjunctive or relative pronouns include allazi, which means who or which. The purpose of introducing these examples at this time is not to do a detailed study of zamay, but to have a bit of a brief introduction and to emphasize the point that zamay or pronouns are a subset within the broader category of ism. The third category of ism includes sifat. In English grammar, sifat are referred to as adjectives. The literal meaning of sifat are qualities or attributes. Let's look at our Venn diagrams for English and Arabic again. So in English, nouns are one category, pronouns are another category, adjectives are a third separate category. But in Arabic, names of a person, place, thing, actions, pronouns, or sifat are all included within the category of ism. Now let us study sifat in more detail, and the best way to study sifat is to categorize them. The first group of sifat includes words that are basic attributes and qualities, such as the word saleh, which means pious, or the word jameel, which means beautiful. Saleh is an attribute, it is a quality, meaning it's a sifat, and because it's a sifat, it's included in ism. Similarly, jameel or beautiful is a quality, it's an attribute. That makes it a sifat, that's why it's included in ism. Another group of sifat includes the names of colors. Example, the word aswad which means black, or the word ahmar, which is used for red. The third group of sifat includes comparative and superlative degrees. Let us use English as an example. In English, we have the word good, which is an attribute or a quality. And we have a comparative and superlative degree to good, which is better and best. Similarly, short is an attribute, and we have a comparative and superlative degree to short, which is shorter and shortest. In Arabic, we also have certain sifat, like kabir, which means great, or saghir, which means small. In Arabic, the same word will be used for comparative and superlative degree. So the comparative and superlative degree for kabir will be akbar. Kabir is great, akbar is greater or greatest. As we hear in the azan, Allahu Akbar, which means Allah is the greatest. Similarly, saghir means small, and the comparative and superlative degree for saghir will be asghar, which means smaller and smallest. Sifat has another category, and that will be included in a miscellaneous group. For this, I will use the word sujood as an example. The word sujood means prostrating. In Urdu, we would call this sajda karna. Since sujood or prostrating is the name of an action, that makes the word sujood an ism. As we recall, ism includes the names of person, place, thing, or the names of actions. So sujood is ism. But relevant to sujood, we have the one who performs the sajda, and that is called sajid. On the other hand, there is the one towards whom sajda is performed, or there is the one towards whom sujood is done, and that is the masjood. So we have sujood, which is the name of an action, and then we have sajid, that is the one who performs that action, and masjood, towards whom that action is attributed. The most important point to note is that both sajid and masjood in this particular example are included in the category of sifat. And because these two are included as sifat, sifat is a subcategory of ism, so sujood, sajid, masjood are all examples of ism. Specifically, sujood is ism because it's the name of an action, and sajid and masjood are examples of sifat. Let us look at another example of the same category. The word is ibadah, which means worshipping, or in Urdu we call it ibadat karna. Ibadah is the name of an action, which makes it ism. So the word ibadah is ism because it's the name of an action. Relevant to ibadah, there is a person who is going to be performing ibadah, who is called abid. And then there's the one who is being worshipped, and that is called ma'bud. So similar to the last example of sajid and masjood, both abid and ma'bud are also examples of sifat. They are also included in the category of sifat, and because they are included in the category of sifat, the word abid, the word ma'bud are ism. Similarly, the word ibadah is ism because it's the name of an action. Now let us revise what we have learned about sifat. Sifat are included within ism. And within sifat, we have some categories. Sifat can include simple attributes or qualities. For example, the word saleh, which means pious, or the word jameel, which means beautiful. Sifat can also include the names of colors, such as aswad, which means black, or ahmar, which means red. Sifat will also include the comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. For example, we have an adjective that is kabir, meaning great. And the comparative and superlative degree of kabir is akbar, which means greater or greatest. Similarly, we have the word saghir, which means small, and the comparative and superlative degree of saghir is asghar, which means smaller or smallest. And finally, we have a miscellaneous category of sifat, which will include words like sajid and masjud. Sajid, for example, being the one doing sajda, and masjud, the one towards whom sajda is done. Similarly, we have abid and ma'bud. Abid is the one who worships. Ma'bud is the one being worshipped. Another example is Hamid and Mahmud. Based on what we have learned so far, let us do some practice. We're going to look at the following words. We're going to find out their meaning, find out if they're ism or not, and then which category of ism do they belong to. The first word is madrasa. The meaning of madrasa is an educational institution. Is it an ism? Yes, it is. Which category of ism? It's the name of a place. The second word is nahnu. The meaning of nahnu is we. Is nahnu an ism? Yes, it is. Why is nahnu an ism? Because it is a personal pronoun. And as we recall, pronouns or Zamay are included in the category of ism. The third word is zalika. The meaning of zalika is that. Is zalika an ism? Yes, it is. Why is zalika an ism? Because it is a demonstrative pronoun. The fourth word is tawil. The meaning of tawil is tall. Is tawil an ism? Yes. Why is tawil an ism? Because it is a sifat. It is an attribute. So far we have looked at examples of ism where it is the name of a place, or it is a pronoun, or it is a sifat. The fifth one is muallim. The meaning of muallim is the one who teaches. Is it an ism? Yes, it is. And it is included in the category of sifat, on the same lines as abid and ma'bud, or sajid and masjud. In contrast to muallim, we have muallam. The meaning of muallam is the one who is taught, or the student. Is it an ism? Yes. And which category? The same category as that of muallim, which is sifat. Let us summarize what we have learned in the second lecture. Meaningful words in Arabic are called kalima. All words in the Quran are meaningful words. There are three parts of speech in Arabic, meaning that all the meaningful words in the Quran will be either ism, or fail, or harf. In the second lecture, we focused on understanding ism. There are several categories of ism, and the most important point to note is that ism in Arabic is not the same as noun in English. The categories of ism will include names, or Zamay, or sifat. Names will include names of person, such as Maryam and Zaid, or the name of a place, like masjid, or the name of a thing, like kitab or qalam, or the name of actions, for example, infaq, which means spending. Ism will also include Zamay. Zamay are pronouns, and in this lecture, we only had a brief introduction to Zamay just to introduce some of the terms. Zamay can be personal pronouns, such as the word ana, which means I, or nahnu, which means we. Zamay could be demonstrative pronouns, like the word haza, which means this, or Zamay can be conjunctive or relative pronouns, such as the word allazi, which means who or which. Finally, ism will also include the category of sifat, Sifat can generally be called adjectives. Either they'll be simple sifat, like attributes or qualities, such as the word saleh, which means pious, or jameel, which means beautiful. Sifat will also include the name of colors, such as aswad, which means black. One category of sifat will include comparative and superlative degrees of adjectives. For example, kabir, which is an adjective meaning great. And the comparative and superlative degree of kabir is akbar, which means greater or greatest. Saghir is another example of an adjective that means small. But the comparative and superlative degree of saghir is asghar, which means smaller or smallest. Finally, we studied the miscellaneous category of sifat, which includes words such as sajid and masjud, abid and ma'bud. One is the name of a person who is performing an action, and the other is the name of the one towards the action is attributed towards. For example, sajid is the one who's prostrating, or the one who is doing sajda. Masjud is the one being prostrated to, or the one towards whom sajda is done. Abid is the one who worships, and ma'bud is the one who is being worshipped. So these are all examples of ism that we studied in today's lecture. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.